It's Wednesday, February 18th, 2026, and a severe storm is approaching the Ohio Valley, which is expected to cause significant issues. Additionally, there's a potential for another major snowstorm to hit the United States as we move on into early March. This severe storm will impact areas such as Louisville, Kentucky, Cincinnati, Ohio, St. Louis, Missouri, and Indianapolis, Indiana. It will bring strong winds, severe thunderstorms, large hail, and even the possibility of tornadoes. The upcoming snowstorm may bring up to 3 feet of snow to areas surrounding Morgantown, West Virginia, and could also pose a threat of ice throughout the entire state. So in today's forecast, I will provide a detailed breakdown of what you need to know about these two storms set to impact the United States. And the first model I want to take a look at is the composite reflectivity model by the HRRR. And beginning with right now, this is what things are going to look like as we move on later on into tonight, probably about the 11 p.m. Central Standard Time hours. We'll have some rain scattered across much of the central eastern United States. No severe thunderstorms out of this, just a little bit of rain. But I really want to highlight as we move on into Thursday. And so as we move on into Thursday morning, this is what things will be looking like. Probably about 2 to 3 a.m. And then things will really start to fire up as we move on into lunchtime hours, which y'all will see here in just a second. And the HRRR model does not show as much intensity as the RRFS model. But yeah, here is the composite reflectivity for the HRRR model. And yeah, so this is what it's going to be looking like Thursday, probably around noon time, Central Standard Time, into the early afternoon hours. Things will start to fire up in Illinois. And yeah, so this model does not go too far out, but these storms will begin to move off on into Indiana and into Ohio as we move on into the later afternoon hours on Thursday. And the model that we are looking at here today is mainly for short-term forecasts like the day of. And we will be posting a video tomorrow showing you with this model what things are going to look like tomorrow. So make sure to go ahead and drop a like down below and subscribe. Make sure to go ahead and subscribe and turn on the post notifications bell so that way you are updated whenever I post. We will be continuing to post updates on this storm. And now here is the same exact sort of forecast here. This is our composite reflectivity with the RRFS model. So yeah, this is what we're going to be looking at now. And starting off later tonight, there will definitely be some storms or some rain showers, not causing any thunderstorms or like any sort of thunder lightning mix, I guess you could say. Just some lighter rain showers out there, just a little bit of light little showers, like I said. And this is sort of our same timing as the HRRR model at the time being. And this is what it is going to be looking like as we move on into early, like morning hours, probably about 2 to 3 a.m. on Thursday. Rain will definitely be continuing to stay pretty significant. Have a little bit of patches of heavy rain in here. But this storm, this model does show it sort of start to fire up around noontime, which we'll take a look at here. Right now, we'll have a little bit of isolated thunderstorms down here around Nashville, Tennessee, and just to the east of Nashville, Tennessee. And yeah, so there will definitely be some rain showers in Kentucky, around the Louisville area, and our main storms really start to fire up sort of in the Illinois area as we move on into Thursday, probably about 3 to 4 p.m. There is a chance that I go live for this, but overall, probably a pretty low possibility unless it moves on into the sort of past 5 p.m. times. And yeah, this is definitely showing an overperforming model compared to all the other models like the HRRR, GFS, all those sort of models, which are saying that nothing too crazy will occur. But this will last into Friday and even on into Saturday night as some just rain showers. And this will actually bring a little bit of storms to Mississippi, Tennessee, even into parts of northwestern Alabama as we move on into Friday, as well as around the Huntsville-Madison area and then into the Knoxville, Nashville sort of area in the Tennessee areas. And then as we move on into Saturday, this will continue to stay as a decently strong run of storms in parts of Alabama, and even into Tennessee, North Carolina. So we could definitely see some severe storms down here around just south of Russellville, so around the Phil Campbell, Hackleburg area in Alabama. Overall, our main tornado threat for tomorrow will be up here, sort of in the more northern areas. We will take a look at our categorical outlooks now. And now here is our severe weather outlook for tomorrow. We have a slight risk in place for all these sort of areas that I mentioned earlier in the intro, as well as a little light thunderstorm outlook for the California and Nevada areas, as well as a categorical outlook and a pretty big marginal outlook. And this slight risk will actually impact upwards of 5 to 10 million people, as this is a fairly highly populated area. So it's definitely something that we're going to be keeping an eye on, and something we could go live for later on in the later night hours to do some live coverage for. I know for a fact Storm Chaser 575 and probably Weston's WeatherWise will be going live to do some live coverage for this event. So make sure to tune on into that event, as we will be providing some details on what you need to know about this system, and just providing accurate warnings, live warnings that are occurring right now, what to do, how to prepare, and how to stay safe during this. And as of now, they have actually issued a 5% tornado risk, which I wouldn't be surprised if this got updated to a 10% tornado risk, non-hatched. Which, for those of you who don't know what hatched is, it's just basically means that it is stronger and sort of intensified. But yeah, this is definitely going to impact a lot of people. This part here could probably impact about 4 to 7 million people. So it's definitely something to keep an eye on. We don't have an exact number of the population included in this, but that is sort of an approximate population, as this does include some bigger states or some bigger cities like Indianapolis, Indiana, Louisville, Kentucky, even into parts of western Cincinnati, Ohio. So even into some parts of St. Louis, which those are fairly dense popularity areas that we will be making sure to keep an eye on. And we will provide a more accurate breakdown of how many people are in this tomorrow in tomorrow's video. So definitely make sure to stay aware and be watching our videos tomorrow. And this does bring with it a 15% wind risk, just means that we could see up to probably about 70 mile per hour winds, as well as a 15% hail risk, which just means that we could probably see hail up to probably about softball size in diameter. Now for our severe weather outlook for Friday, this is just a light little thunderstorm risk, which could bring just some light thunderstorms to all these sort of areas. Mainly the main threat will be heavy rain. Now, I want to go ahead and take a look at our surface-based CAPE. This is how we can sort of view, CAPE stands for Convective Available Potential Energy, and this is how we can sort of view what these storms will, how big the tornado threat will be, as if you have a tornado without CAPE, it will not be as severe. So we definitely have a little bit of CAPE here, nothing too intense as we move on to Thursday, early morning hours, including probably about 8 a.m. or so. And yeah, so definitely we'll be continuing to have a little bit of CAPE pop up around just south of the sort of central Illinois area, which will definitely bring a big threat for some more CAPE to sort of fire up, as it's sort of like basketball. Once you make a shot, you're going to start making more shots. And sort of once you see CAPE, the CAPE is going to continue making more CAPE, which is kind of a weird thought to think about, but it is true. So yeah, it'll definitely be something that we will be keeping an eye on. So it will bring a pretty big tornado threat, but it will be mainly for the Indiana, Illinois area. So it's definitely something we're going to keep an eye on as we move on into tomorrow, and I will be posting a video in tomorrow's morning, like I said, probably about 6:45 to 7 a.m. So if you're one of those early risers, you will be able to watch that before you head to work or whatever you're going to do in the morning. But if you don't have a tornado plans already planned out with your family, hurry up and discuss that tonight. Sort of talk with your family what you need to do for tomorrow if you do have a tornado happen in your area. So I would also say to sort of have multiple ways to receive alerts. For local weather alerts, return to your National Weather Service. Don't take what we say as life or death situation. And now I want to go ahead and take a look at our storm relative helicity, as otherwise known as SRH, which sort of is what allows these storms to rotate and create a supercell, which a supercell is what forms a tornado. So as we move on into Thursday, early morning hours, probably about 3 a.m. right now, as this area that we're looking at right now is probably moving on to about 7 a.m. right now. This is what things will be looking like. We'll definitely have some more CAPE in the Missouri area, or not CAPE. Have more SRH in the Missouri area, but this does begin to move into the Kentucky, Indiana, Illinois area as we move on into later on Thursday, probably about early morning hours like 9 to 10 a.m., and then this will be continuing to move off through Kentucky, even into areas like Pikeville, Kentucky, and those more populated areas, which there will obviously be a big threat for SRH, as we are seeing right here on this map. And will definitely be something that we'll be keeping an eye on, just to sort of see how significant this will be, and there will definitely be a tornado threat on this system. Now I want to go ahead and take a look at our bulk shear here, as this is sort of like wind shear, and it's sort of how we can view all of the, like, it's sort of just what helps the tornado, fuels all these like systems, and sort of allows them to be more tornado producing. We will definitely have a pretty decent amount of bulk shear moving through parts of Missouri, even to Arkansas. I apologize if I called this Missouri earlier. I was not thinking clearly, as this is sort of a late night filming video. But yeah, there will definitely be some wind shear in the system, especially in the southern Illinois areas, and this could either be a bust or hit storm, like I call it, hit or bust, and it's definitely something that has all the ingredients you need, but if all the ingredients are not lining up as they should, then this will not be as significant. But as of now, they are lining up pretty good, and they will definitely bring a big threat to any of the highlighted areas I have shown earlier on in the video. And now I want to go ahead and take a look at our precipitable water, as this is sort of what acts like moisture in this storm. This is along with our dew point. This is practically our dew point, but this is all the water that we could see in the air that could sort of precipitate, obviously. And yeah, it's definitely something that we will be keeping an eye on. Like I said, I know I've said that a lot in today's video, but we are still one full day out from this event, so in tomorrow's video we'll be able to provide a more detailed breakdown. I know we have gone through a lot today, and I apologize for that, as this is a very long video. So yeah, but there will definitely be a lot of moisture in the storm, just basically means there is more fuel for tornadoes, and there will be a pretty big threat in this storm for tornadoes and obviously some severe storms, as well as Alabama. Alabama will be coated in moisture with this precipitable water, so there will definitely be some rain all over the southeast areas, as well as obviously this event up here driven by a lot of moisture in the air. Now, what I am taking a look at right now, this is sort of our safety and preparation. I do not do a lot of these in my videos, but whenever I do, this means that this is a pretty significant and serious event. I do want to go ahead and apologize for my dog barking in the background. I have no clue what he's barking at or why he's barking. So like I said, I do apologize for that. But whenever it comes down to these events, you want to always have safety, all right? So safety is obviously a key ingredient for all these storms that you want to be able to watch. And you want to have multiple ways of receiving alerts to sort of know when you're in a tornado warning, as sometimes these sometimes the towns do not sound their tornado sirens, not intentionally, but if they are not like paying attention or anything and they don't have a tornado warning, there will definitely not be tornado sirens going on in the town, because those are not automated to go off whenever there's a tornado warning issued. There is a manager who purposefully sends signals to that, telling it to sort of make that sound. So there will definitely not always be sirens during these events. There is a likelihood that there will most likely be sirens, but do not only rely on the sirens, all right? I want you to rely on your phone, have like a weather radio or anything like that. Maybe have the TV turned on the weather or the news channel, whatever you can do to sort of receive multiple ways of alerts. What I always like to say is have at least 3 ways to receive alerts. Nothing less than 3 ways to receive alerts. And for preparation, get together tonight with your family. Sit down, have like a talk saying, okay, so whenever there's a tornado warning, what do we want to do? do we want to go here, blah, 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 wherever your tornado shelter is. Whenever there's a tornado warning, where do we meet? What do we need to have to sort of stay safe in there in our tornado shelter? If you don't have a tornado shelter, I advise you go to either your basement. If you don't have a basement, go to an interior room on the lowest floor of the home or building you are staying in at the time of this event. You can definitely have bikers helmets. A lot of people wear just like either baseball helmets, football helmets, bikers helmets, anything like that to sort of protect your head from flying debris, as this is actually could be tragic and homes could be flattened with all of these events. A lot of people like to get in their bathtubs during these events, as it sort of is a sturdy way to stay safe. Make sure to cover your neck with blankets or pillows, or just like your arms or whatever, like the picture shown on the screen right now. And yeah, that is sort of it for this video. We will be going more in depth tomorrow's video, so make sure to go ahead and like and subscribe if you haven't already. Subscribe, turn on post notifications bell so that you're updated whenever we post a new video. This is a key vital to this event. Obviously, the safety and preparations thing, as you would like to always be safe and prepared for these events. And yeah, that was all we had to talk about for today. I appreciate everybody for tuning in, and I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.